don't really like to look too far ahead in the future, maybe like 1 to 2 years, because especially with technology and how fast things are changing, you need to be able to adapt. That's one of the biggest things, especially now with South Africans as well. It's like, people obviously love the South African talent. The conversion rate is great. If you can earn in dollars, like that is the best opportunity right now. So you need to adapt to the circumstances. But yeah, just in general, obviously the School of Athens is more the umbrella brand, and under that we're going to be building. Obviously got the info product, founders acquisition, maybe some merch in the future, some physical stores like gyms maybe. But that's more actually long term, like 3 to 5 years. But further than that, I don't really know. You never know what happens.
What it can turn into as well.
I think the main thing, right, as long as we stay true to the underlying mission statement, which is to live the life of a good man, essentially, that's sort of what it comes down to. And then having active discourse, like on our journey towards whatever that might mean, right? So what Andrew's saying as well with like you need to adapt is like, well, whatever living life of a good man might mean in 10 years from now, we'll have to adapt to that. And I think the beauty of this podcast or interviewing interesting people or building a community or whatever, it's active people that believe in the same sort of vision and has discourse or conversations about this topic, right? So we obviously believe you need to be financially independent, you need to be able to take care of yourself and then extend that to your family and then hopefully your community around you, right? And so the beauty of South Africa is something I want to cultivate and I want to see it flourish. I love South Africa. And so I think predominantly what we're trying to do here is uplift the young South Africans, to give them some hope and to sort of bring some knowledge from interesting people like yourself, right? So to interview people, to bring that forth. So yeah, but obviously health, wealth, like Andrew said, physical products. I think a fitness center will be pretty cool.
Yeah, we talk about that.
Yeah, like that's probably like a main thing. As you can see, Andrew is like this jacked guy, right? Like I'm also super into health, so like that's a main thing for us. It's probably the fitness thing. Yeah.
Sick. I love that answer. And on that note, I know you mentioned like financial independence. If you were completely dead broke right now and you're like absolutely poked, looking for a job in a sense, what would you do if you were kind of looking to get on the online space?
I mean, I think we should be asking you.
Sure.
But it's a good question. You can answer.
Okay, so when I was, obviously that's mainly our people we are serving, right, with the podcast and the YouTube and stuff like that. So the first thing really is to see what people want, like what's the demand, what are people looking for, what are people actively paying for. And at the moment that's more, the content space is massive. Everyone's, running a podcast, everyone's looking to start a podcast, and maybe if you can do like a podcast agency or something like that, helping them. I know people in India making $80,000 a month with their podcast agency in India, bro. That's like 4 million rand.
You have no excuse, bro. You have no excuse.
Yeah, and this guy's like in his teens still, or like 20. So look at what is added in demand, and also AI is also big, massive. It's still extremely early, so if you can do like a AI automation agency or something like that, just reach out to business owners. That's probably the best thing I do, and obviously work with US people, getting paid in dollars and spending rand. Yeah, that's the number one thing.
I think like the main thing is, right, you want to make sure that the vehicle that you are investing in and trying to make your money through is a good vehicle. And so the two things that Andrew touched based on there is like online business and then making money from the US and then living in South Africa. Like that's the main thing. And so I think before you can really analyze like what's in demand and what's working or whatever, or expose yourself to opportunities, you first need to get surrounded by people, because you might be ignorant to the entire AI space. You might not even know podcast is booming because you're not even aware of that entire paradigm. And so that's why I think getting exposed to people that is in that space is massive. But I think the online space specifically is something you need to focus on.
Still very early.
And it's very early. And so if you can get into groups, like it's a free plug, but it's value. Like that's what we're building it. Like Founders Acquisition is exactly for that, right? So it's full of people that wants to make money online. And so then when you get exposed to that, then what Andrew said comes into play. Then you start to see, okay, what do people want? Do they want more leads? Do they want more ads? Or they're all doing content? So they might be content clipping agencies. And then you start to see, what people do need. And then you can start seeing, okay, what skills do I have? Or maybe I just, learn a skill in 20 hours, like Andrew always says. So, I think exposure like that is important. But that's very similar to what your journey is, right?
Yeah.
Like you met a guy.
So if you enjoy this conversation and you relate with the health and wealth aspect, and both of these are very important when it comes to scaling a business or just as an entrepreneur in general, top link in the description if you want a more personalized approach, to scaling your business or in the health aspect as well. And also in the description is access to our free community where we've got 20 hours of content that you can just consume. 100%.
If you enjoy this conversation, share it to a friend. maybe think about subscribing, put the notifications on. It helps the channel a lot, and by doing so, we can get some more interesting guests like this. So let's get back to the video.
Well, you have to provide some form of value. Like, you cannot just, as a South African, especially right now, in this turbulent time that we face, be sitting on your hands doing nothing, offering no value. You'd be crazy to sit there and just be completely useless to the world. And unfortunately, so many people are at the moment. Like, and we can blame the economy, we can blame everything, but at the end of the day, if people have done it from zero, what is the excuse, you know?
Yeah.
So I think, you're so right. You have to get around these people, expand your mind to the fact that you can do this from anywhere in the world. If you want, the main kind of barrier to entry in, like for South Africans, for third worlders, is, I don't know how to get paid. Well, there's so many different ways now. Like, Andrew made a plan, he went and he made a mission.
I figured it out myself. Like, I didn't know help me in that aspect. Obviously, I mean, YouTube videos and stuff, but I had to figure out, like, okay, how am I actually going to use Stripe and all this stuff?
Exactly.
You know, it's crazy. Like Kiko is working for Charlie Morgan, who was Andrew's first mentor. So that's pretty cool.
And that's actually was that the first time we met in person?
Yes.
In our first podcast or interview?
Oh yeah, you interviewed him for.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, the first time I met you, you were at Mug and Bean.
No way.
I met you. I was like, bro, so it's in like South Africa. It's just down the road in Durbanville. You were in Stellies at the time at the Mug and Bean there. I was like, okay, well, let me go pop in. And this song's just frantically operating there, like sending emails and
yeah, bro, because your boss is telling him, bro, take action, send emails, bro.
Look, you must be one of the quickest success stories as well. You got like the return on your investment, I think it was like 2 months?
Within 3 months, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely insane. And that's just raw consistency and flat out effort, which is crazy.
And it was from zero as well.
Yeah.
Like, I went into debt for that mentorship.
And put it in perspective, like we previously mentioned in the first podcast as well, I think the product was at that time, it was 10K US. 10K US, bro, and you was 19, how old were you? Not 19, you were 20. 20 years old, and he had to put down 10K US. Think about that for a second. No business, the exact same fear and doubt that you're going through right now, that you're experiencing, that what you are experiencing right now, that is the fucking paradigm you have to work through. Like, that is entrepreneurship, and it consistently feels like that. You just get more results later down the line that reinforces the version of yourself that you're trying to achieve, and then that doubt and fear slowly but surely sort of removes itself. But you have to take action through that, right? So it's not like it just happens. You still have to take a leap of faith, and then you make it work while you're fucking building it, right?
Absolutely.
You have like, what's your take on like faith in entrepreneurship?
Yours, the only thing. Like, if you don't have faith in yourself, like, who's gonna have faith in you? You know, you've got to wake up and actually have a vision. I think that's one thing. You went through the mindset section of Easy Grow, and that's a huge part of it, because you create this vision of your life, these documents that you kind of go over every day and whatnot, and that is what gives you the faith that this is what I'm going to become. So if this is my output, let me put in the inputs, because I know those now. And that's the beautiful thing. It makes it a lot easier. So obviously you have faith in yourself, but also G-Money as well.
Big man upstairs.
Exactly. You have to.
There's also just so much that you can do, right? It's like when you're checking the boxes, taking action, doing the outreach, and you still don't see results, well, then you're going to have to start believing in something bigger than yourself, right?
Exactly.
Like, so it's inevitable.
Oh yeah, and sorry, just to interrupt, but in those moments when you're in entrepreneurship, you realize there's no one else to turn to other than to look upwards, you know? That's when they say there's no atheists in the trenches. You've got to actually like...
That is like, so true, bro.
When you're really facing the fire and you're overdue and you've got people to pay and whatever, like, then it's like, okay, shit, I got some help.
One thing I think would resonate maybe with some people is that, like, that vision was planted in your heart for a reason. Like, you can literally see and taste it and feel it, and if that's in there, it's like it's 100% going to happen. So you just need to zoom out. You know, like, the outcome is guaranteed. Like, that is guaranteed. So whatever you're going through right now, the ups and downs, that's totally fine. Like, it shouldn't bother you whatsoever. Because you know what's the outcome.
Bro, that's amazing. I love that. I wrote an essay recently about that exact same thing, right? It's like that voice that Anna's talking about, or your intuition, or it's the Lord speaking to you, however you want to look at it, right? It's that voice gets louder late at night when you're alone in your room. You know, when you're laying in bed after you did all the shit work you didn't want to do and whatever, you might have ate McDonald's or something, and you know, you're disaligned with your goals, then that voice gets louder at night. And I like to think that's like your ideal self. You know, that's like the best version of yourself, sort of whispering from the future. It's like, oh, you can do this, right? And like that is the thing. And I think chasing that with everything you have is all you got, right? Like, well, what are you going to do for the rest of your life? Work in the thing you're doing right now, you know, being a real estate, like I was in the real estate game, be a real estate agent. Like if that's what you want to do and that's your calling, then that's fine. But I knew it was disaligned with what I wanted to do. And so I had to get out there.